No, I want everybody to see what you over here doing. We're not dancing right now.
Man, I'm stunting on him, man. I'm stunting on him, man.
Stop real quick.
Stunt with him, man. You can bow on him, man.
What's going on, everyone? It's your girl, Dawn Halfkenny. And, of course, sitting here beside me in this Road to Hollywood hoodie is Tabari TV. Show what you got. Yeah!
Man, look at him. We got him. They ain't going to be for the low, man, but because we definitely going to hit you on the head. But we got the merchandise now, and we about to size it up so you can definitely purchase this and support the show. But we got my homegirl, Shante Paige. I'm really excited about this episode because we go back to the music industry and we came to Atlanta right at the same time to kind of figure it all out. And she's doing some awesome things in town, producing shows and stuff like that. So I'm definitely excited for all you guys to see that interview. So sit back and check out The Road to Hollywood.
Don't nobody care about your little show, Road to Hollywood. Your little show, Road to Hollywood. Just because y'all got y'all little hoodies, they think they all that now. Your little buttons. I can get a button.
Who ain't got buttons?
Who ain't got buttons?
Everybody
got buttons.
That is so much. Okay.
My cheeks hurt now. Today has been a great day.
Come on, dog.
Okay. So where we coming back from? Where we coming back?
No.
See, people don't believe I could be ratchet. I could really be ratchet if I wanted to be ratchet.
Nigga, you are ratchet. You are like.
I'm like, no.
It's
I'm
not
like
like
sophisticated.
You know what, like, and honestly, like, I can't do like a square. You know what I'm saying? Like square, like, you know what I'm saying? So I actually commend people that are able to kind of bounce back.
If I was square,
you wouldn't be here.
All right.
So let's get it. What up, everybody? I want to welcome everybody back to this episode of Road to Hollywood. Dawn, it is the holiday season, man. Can you believe this year is almost over?
It is crazy, but you know what? I'm so thankful because 2019 has been a really good year for me, so I'm grateful.
I seen you blowing up, man. I
mean, like I always say, God is good. You know what? I need to do another inspirational message at the end of this show.
All right, you got one?
No, not right now. Not right now.
Think of one. We got one coming. We got one coming.
You know,
it is the end of the season. You got any holiday plans?
I do have holiday plans. You know, I'm go to church and I'm gonna just praise the Lord and give them thanks for the glory and just give thanks and just get ready for 2020 because it's a lot that is going to be upon me. So I'm grateful and I'm just gonna give thanks.
All right. So, Donnie Dawn, you have fun at your watch service. I'm going to try to figure out some type of vacation type something because I need a vacation and you got to do that work-life balance. So that's what's up. But, we got my homegirl, Shante Paige, coming out to the studio, and I want y'all to check out this episode of Road to Hollywood. Bingo.
Let's do it.
All right. What up, everybody? Welcome to this podcast section of Road to Hollywood with my good friend Shante Paige. What's going on, Shante?
What up?
You're down here because I felt like we had a very parallel kind of road to Hollywood, if we're saying like Hollywood South or whatever.
Really did.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, it was funny, like when I got down to Atlanta, I kind of lost my music identity. Mm-hmm. Like coming up in the 90s, I was Tabari, the A&R. And so when I got down here, like reinventing myself, I found like a little bit awkward at times. And then when I slipped into the television thing, you were right there, mm-hmm. With the eye of the tiger. So tell me how that was when, kind of reinventing yourself and kind of getting into the game.
It was a little rough in the beginning. I think, when you are a high-level exec in music and people take your calls because of the position you have, and then you leave and you decide, okay, I'm going to swerve and I'm going to go do something else and I'm going to reinvent myself, people stop answering the phone, and so I had to kind of, it was a little humbling at first. And a lot of the TV producers were like, well, we don't know that what you can produce. We know what you did in music, but how do we know you can produce, in this? So they were like, well, we have this PA job, or we have this, other low-level position, and after a while I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get in where I fit in, I'm gonna do it. And I think we're similar in that too.
Yeah, I wasn't about like I was a great intern, and I was a great intern, so I didn't even feel I was like if I can get in the door.
Right.
And I remember I remember seeing your face at the when they were staffing up for not this last studio opening, but the prior studio opening, and you were on one of those teams, and I saw you doing your thing, and
Are we gonna say where it was?
Yeah, TPS. I'm pro TPS, so it's just funny how things happen and how things go to kind of end up in the place where you kind of have to grow. I don't think I would have grown as much if I was there for the last 5 or 6 years, been able to do the kind of things independently. All right, so what I want to do, I want to go back to the music stuff. You went to Howard?
HU.
So I used to be so jealous of, it's like down here, like everybody in Atlanta goes to Clark. You know what I'm saying? So everybody you come across. But when I was in the music industry, like everybody, that first wave of people I came through, everybody was, for Howard. So how was that experience, like, you going to Howard and kind of figuring out, like, you're going to get into the entertainment field?
Going to Howard was incredible. And just the HBCU experience in general, I highly recommend it.
Was it school days? Was it like school days?
Yeah, it was like school days. With everybody pledging, I did not pledge because I worked. I would leave school, go to work. I was in a work program to get myself, money was tight. So, but I knew I wanted to be in music. I knew it. And
what was that? How did you know that? What was that?
Because I was just around producers and artists, and I managed a group, and Michael Ealy was in my group, 4-guy group. Got them signed to Gene Griffin that had Guy, Basic Black, a bunch of other people. And I was like, this is what I want to do. And Puff left, and, and he started a Bad Boy, and I'm sitting there like, okay, he left college and he's kind of doing it. So my mom was like, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Like, you're going to finish. And I was like, okay. So I promised her I would finish. But the day after I graduated, I moved to New York.
Okay. So right after that, you moved to New York. So give me a brief stint. We met in the A&R rooms at Universal Motown when that whole thing kind of merged. And I remember you going hard for Kim, and I was like, I love the A&R process of people when you're on the other side of your vision and everything, and I saw your complete vision for that. When people didn't get it, they wasn't spending no money on your projects and everything.
And just all my artists.
Yeah, but I just remember, I just remember that one and being like, what I'm saying, to where it was. And sometimes, so like, tell me a brief dialogue of some of the artists you kind of work with.
So I worked under Kedar at Universal Motown. I was at Kedar Entertainment before that, and Jive Records before that, Volcano Records. But Kedar was the one to hire me in an A&R capacity. So I worked on Erykah Badu, Chico DeBarge, India Arie, The Temptations.
Shout out to Kedar. That was like a dope time, man. Like I remember,
it was an amazing time.
I remember like the halls of Universal, and I was there. So I did two stints at Universal. So when you met me, I went to Jive and had just come back. But like I was there like in '96 when the doors opened, and I saw like all of that stuff breaking. You know what I'm saying? Like all the Kedar stuff breaking, but also
we even had like 702 and Dave Hollis.
Yeah,
people
definitely.
don't even know that.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of things rocking up there. So I mean, what happened? I know my story. I got clipped. I got clipped around. You know what song I blame the whole downfall of? Is Lumi D
And that Lumi D record is the reason why I was so upset about Kim.
Dude.
Because I'm like, I have this Kim album here. He's already selling.
Yeah.
And they want to, and I don't want to disrespect anybody in any type of way.
That's not that. It's just like hindsight is 2020.
I was like, y'all want to run after this, whatever record that was.
And I remember,
That was
I
just
say that
kinda-
I blame that record. I said that record got us all clipped because I remember
I left on my own accord.
But I mean, I'm just talking about the atmosphere to what was going on there. It became because I don't remember like it was like a period of time where like records were slow, and that was like right around the time the iPod came out, and things just got real weird to me.
Yeah, and Napster
Was there.
and then iTunes. They were like, we want to sign, we want to sign up for iTunes, and then the record industry was not feeling it. We were.
It was like
that.
right at that time,
Yeah.
and I remember like it just got real murky up there, and I remember like that whole record. I remember they were kind of betting the house on that record, and I was just like, this ain't the record, like you know what I'm saying? And they went, well, but either here or there. Like with me after that, like I got clipped from there, and I just like I had a gut feeling in my stomach that I did not want to jump back into music. Like I didn't want to go find another A&R job and like go through the whole thing or even find a different department. I thought like I was done with that, but I wanted to kind of figure it out, and I didn't want to figure it out in front of people. So what kind of led you to Atlanta?
So I was burnt on music, and I honestly just got to a point where I didn't even like it anymore. I was just like, okay, I need to do something else, and I'm creative, so I want to still be in that space. So I was just trying to feel myself out, and at that time I was producing webisodes, and I was coming back and forth. Ryan Glover, who was a really good friend of mine, was at Turner, and I was taking meetings because I was trying to sell the webisodes. And I was kind of ahead of the curve on that because people were like, they weren't doing that then. But I was like, I have this content, and I did it. It's called Style Aficionados. It was about two stylists who just happened to be, that were in the music business, but they just happened to be gay stylists. And I loved them, and they were fabulous, and they just had this amazing life. And so I was like, I want to tell their story, tell their journey, and that's what I decided, to do. Turner actually did purchase the webisodes. But it never went anywhere, and that was kind of like, okay, well, what's next? I gotta do something next. And then I got introduced to James DuBose, and he started hiring me on some of his productions, and it just kind of took off from there. And then I went to Tyler Perry Studios.
That's what's up. So you worked on the opening, the opening party, and then the next time I saw you, we were in the dungeon working, and you were the supervisor of post-production down for a couple of seasons of a couple of shows.
222 episodes.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for that experience though, because it taught me, like I had no barometer of how this was supposed to go. So when we were shooting 3 episodes a week, and I'm delivering 3 episodes a week, 2 episodes a week to Turner, and our turnaround, and our turnaround was crazy. I had no idea that this is not normal.
Yeah, and so what's so good about that with me, I felt like we were at the threshold of something. So like going the other way is it's not saying it's easier, but like the fire is never as hot as I was delivering or having to work under those circumstances that we were down there. So just to give a brief history, under one of the like studio houses or whatever was housed like the post-production. And then my unit was the behind the scenes unit, and we had a couple of bays, and then Shante ran the joint with all the other stuff that was going on, with all the shows. And so how was that experience? Like, I guess you learned a lot, and, and what did you kind of learn from there?
I learned everything. I did know some things about post-production, and I definitely knew about production. And I sat with editors before, and I was involved in a lot of music videos, but being there and having to run that department with all the editors and all the offline, online, like we were QCing. I mean, it was just everything. And
I felt like that's what it was. It was like, for me, I worked on like 400 episodes of shows in 2 years.
Yeah.
like literally like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Like you're like every day we were rocking on some different type of show, and
it taught us a different hustle.
Yeah.
So we came into like then you had no problem going and shooting your own movie or going and
Right.
doing whatever because you like your whole barometer of how this works. You weren't scared.
Yeah, like I it was like this one little thing. I swear, this what made me, because I always wanted to make a film. I just didn't know how I was gonna do. And then like up in New York, all my friends that were in the film and television, they were just like, it was so laborious, and it is a hard job. But up in New York, it just seemed like they were always tired, they were always aggy, and I was just like, But I remember we were on the set of a movie. We Could Do Bad All By Myself, and I always used to wonder like how did they get the return shots when they were like close to like a wall. I used to watch like Law and Order. I was like, how did they get that shot? And one time like we were like rehearsing, and then it was like a bathroom shot, and so like Tyler was like, all right, cool, we're gonna do it like this, and then I want that wall gone, after lunch. And then we came back and the wall was gone. And then there was like a whole camera crew. So I was like, that happened. And I swear, that's the silliest thing in the world. But I was like, yo, I could do this now. Because that was one of the only things that I felt like I couldn't figure out. Like how sometimes it's a return shots or whatever. And then I just kind of jumped into it.
And then they only did 2 takes. And
Yeah.
that was unheard of.
Yeah.
It's like, people would be like, huh?
Yeah, you know what? We talked about that a lot because you really have to trust your actors and stuff like that. Like, and I think that's what it was. It was like from those years of them on the road with the plays.
Yeah.
That they were trusting each other on both sides to kind of try different things, because it was times where things would get tight and we didn't even have like a script, or we have like a foundation of a script. He's like, well, just say that, say this, say this, say that. And they put episodes together, and I just thought that was kind of incredible. So it did give me the inspiration to do, to go at it a little bit like I could do that. Like, and I think that's what I empower to like the youth now. Like I have some programs where I didn't know what an A&R was until I met an A&R.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't
either.
Once I met an A&R, I was like, okay, I want to do that. That's exactly what I want to do. And I feel like sometimes when, people identify these job sources for these children that may not know exactly what they want to do, but there's so many fascinating jobs that you can get in entertainment. Everything is not about directing or being in front of the camera. There's like I tell people all the time, like when you go and you sit down at the end of a movie, there's 200, 300 jobs that are about to scroll in front of you, and if you could figure out where you fit in, then you could probably have a career forever. You know what I'm saying? Just if you find like one of those jobs, and all of those jobs are like here, in the city right now. So you leave Tyler Perry, and I saw you start dibbling into some productions and start doing something. So how was that like kind of road to you kind of leading to what's going on right now with your new shows?
So I left Tyler Perry and I went back into reality. So I went from reality to scripted to reality, and the minute I leave, Keith Clinkscales, who's a friend of mine from the music business, had a show available at ESPN, The Battle, and it was about the bands, the day in the life of the bands. And I brought Roger Bob in, and I was like, hey, let's do this together. Roger knew nothing about reality, so I kind of got him into that world. And I think he was like, wait a minute, this is, I could do these movies, but I could, I could get a check over here with the reality world. So he kind of got his, skin in the game in the reality, and I think he liked it. And then from there, Ricky Smiley For Real, I shot that sizzle. We got that placed at TV One, 5 seasons in. We had 5 successful seasons, but then I think his family kind of grew up and everybody was out, and it was kind of like, okay, what do we do now? And I think it ran its course, but it was an extremely successful show for TV One. And then I just started venturing off and doing some of my own projects, because I just feel like you could do it any kind of way you want to do it. You can work under people and kind of work your way up, or you can go create your own content and get yourself out there and show people that you know what you're doing. And so that's kind of the approach that that I did. So Beyond the Pole, when Mark Stevens came to me with the idea about following the life of dancers, exotic dancers, I said that, I would do it as long as I could put my spin on it and it have redemption. And I truly show the good, the bad, the ugly, and kind of put somebody in their mix to kind of help them navigate through their lives. And so that's how that came about. We sold it to Bob Johnson digitally on UMC, and I said, okay, I want it to air on cable.
Okay.
And so I had Bob help get it to WeTV. And so in that year, it aired digitally and on cable, which to my knowledge, I don't know any other reality show that's done that.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So what's on the horizon for you next? What's next for you?
Well, I'm about to go work on Black Ink Crew, New York.
That's what's
They're
up.
taking me back to New York. I've been away from New York since 2008. And they're taking me back to New York. And then I am hoping and praying season 2 of Beyond the Pole. I've got some other projects in the works too that I can't really talk about. But yeah, I mean, I love reality. I love that space because you never truly know what you're gonna get. Like in scripted, you know what it is. Unless they're ad-libbing and you're allowing them to do that, like you kind of know the beginning, the middle, and the end. But in reality, you don't know. So it's always like it's always some suspense. It's always exciting. It's all, it keeps me engaged. So I think that I will always probably have a foot in the reality space.
That's what's up. Will you ever go back to music?
I love music again, so I would.
That's funny.
I really would. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I'm just like, okay, yes, absolutely, I would.
That's funny. So, in to say that, I'm the same thing, but I don't think, depending on the business, but like I got my fix from DJing. So now I DJ a lot, and so that's been like my fix. And I say that, like I fell back in love with music because I definitely fell out of love with music.
I did too. I think we share the same. I think we share the same path, the same sentiment, the same, like, everything.
Yeah, I definitely.
But I'm back in love.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, if you, I don't even know what to kind of, I feel like you're kind of on the same thing. It was really not to box you out, but if you had somebody that's kind of pursuing their dreams and their plight and, had some unconventional routes to get to where they what would be your inspirational thought be to them?
I think they should go for it. I think everyone's path is unique. I don't think there's any right way or wrong way. Whatever you feel in your gut, I think that's what you do. And you just navigate the way you can, I mean, we kind of did it a little unorthodox. Some people will work with one production company and continue to just grow within we kind of swerved and went here, went there, and I mean, there's no right or wrong.
Also, so what's going on with Real Divas?
I'm excited about Real Divas. It's a beautiful movement of women of color who are in the business in some capacities, producers, directors, and they've been some of them have even been in front of the camera, and we're coming together saying, hey, we're here, we have a voice, we're in Atlanta, we want to have women join and come in and do projects together, get funding together, just be each other's backbone and help each other navigate through entertainment.
That's what's up, man. Like I had Cass here the other day, and we got to end talking about that, and I was just like, I just thought it was dope that just to have all you guys just in the same room.
I know, it was amazing.
Yeah, and just like another thing down here, it's very interesting. Like this path, when I'm trying to I don't know, I try to kind of compare it to different things. When something really big is about to happen, like there's gonna be some huge projects that people that we know are gonna be tied in and be in front of the camera or behind the camera, but to kind of see, for the last 10 years of a lot of people's growth, and just to look at that picture, it was just like, man, that's it. But now it's about connecting the Voltron, and everybody get together and figure out how we can get some bread and make some huge projects. Because if we don't kind of do that, then somebody else is gonna do it.
Or if we don't help each other, who's gonna help us?
That's what's up.
So that's the most important thing about Real Divas is like we want to help each other, you know, get projects greenlit, get projects funded.
That's dope.
So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And I mean, Angie Bones, when I first got to Tyler Perry Studios, she was the woman.
She still is the woman. Like
no, she's a woman now. But what I was saying was, I was looking at her like I want to do what she does.
Yeah.
And now I'm standing with her. Yeah. You know. And Jasmine Guy, when I was at Howard, I'm watching her on School Days.
No doubt.
And now and I know Jasmine, but I'm standing in a room with her, and we're all, you know, trying to come together. So it was an amazing. Amazing experience. I'm very happy to be involved with it, and I think that we're gonna do some magnificent things.
I definitely know something magnificent is coming out there.
Yes.
So like, you know, I'm putting that in the air.
Yes.
I'm putting that
Yes.
in the air, and we'd be able to turn back and be like, yo, Tabari said it. You know, even though y'all had vision on it, like I see the power in that.
Yeah, it was a lot of power in that room. And I was blessed to have worked with a lot of the women. Autumn Bailey. I'm trying to think of everybody that was in Guy. I mean, it was kind of one of those aha moments where you're like, wow, you know. And I took meetings in LA, and people were like, oh, I saw you guys in Deadline, or I saw you guys in Black Enterprise. I think it's amazing. And we didn't even know there were that many producers and directors that are in Atlanta like that. You know, it's one of those things. They don't know until you show them.
So it's time to show them.
It's time to show them.
Definitely no right or wrong. Well, I want to thank you for coming out and being on this episode of Road to Hollywood. This was super cool to catch up and, you know, just kind of talk about the old times. But like you as somebody like that, I definitely said was like on a parallel thing, you know, kind of navigating our way through this maze, which it is kind of amazing.
We're like what? It's been like 25 years?
Yeah, like
25 years in the game?
You digging us.
Well, yeah. But we still relevant though.
Yeah, that's what's up. We still here.
And the thing is, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, definitely not. Like I really actually feel like my best days are definitely in front.
Me too.
You know, when people are like, hey, I'm proud of you for this, I'll be like, man, this is just what I'm able to kind of touch and do right now. But like when I kind of know what it's going to be, it's just like the opportunity to kind of get there. Yeah. So that's what's up. But I really appreciate you coming down here. I know you got a lot going on. And bless your family.
Thank
you know
you.
what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I know you got some things going on. So that's what's up. So everybody, thank you for tuning in to this episode or this podcast section of Road to Hollywood with Shante Paige. And I'll get back to you on the next time. Peace. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I told you.
Okay, you did tell me okay. It was a great interview. I'm sure everyone watching is going to say the same thing.
No doubt.
And I think it's really awesome how you all have transitioned into this industry too.
No doubt, man. Sometimes reinvention is the key to success. Mm-hmm. You know, you always got to, sometime, I read a book, 48 Laws of Power, 50 Laws of Power now. And sometimes you got to get a new haircut, got to go get a new jacket, got to get a new swag. And I feel like that's exactly, you know, what I did when I came to Atlanta. I was like, I'm going to figure something out. I didn't know it was going to be film and television, but I was just going to figure something out. So that was the game plan.
And then guess what? Look where you
Pow! We here. Look, we're here. Shows and movies and
everything. You name it. I'm always seeing it. Oh, gosh.
That's what's up. Yo, so enjoy yourself. Thank you for supporting us as usual. And we thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Road to Hollywood. Bingo.
Hey, almost dislocated my shoulder. Doing too much.